What is up, good people? It's your girl, Nikki P. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel where I am sharing my journey with you of becoming the best version of myself and striving to stop just dreaming about my dream reality and to actually start living it. Now, if you have been following me since the beginning of this month, I have been talking about mindset matters all month long. And today, keeping in with that same theme, I am talking about aligning habits with your goals because one of the things that I discovered as I was reviewing my goals from last year, and I looked at what I started off the year wanting to do and what I actually accomplished at the end of the year, I realized that I was probably only at 50% of what I set out to do. And a good part of the reason for that is that one, my goals were not defined enough. I naturally am more of an abstract person than I am a like concrete person. So my goals were very vague, not really specific, not really I didn't have hard deadlines on things. And because I didn't have enough clarity, it was very easy for me to be inconsistent because I didn't have any steps. One, the goal wasn't clear. Two, I didn't have any actual steps as to how I was going to accomplish the goal. And something else that I actually realized, I heard someone else say this, that some of what I had listed as my goals were not even actually goals, they were desired outcomes, which is something that you can't control. So it wasn't a true goal. So noticing all of those different things when I came into this year, I definitely do not want to repeat last year. I want to actually, accomplish most of what I set out to accomplish. So at the end of this year, I can look back and I can clearly see this is what I said I was going to do and this is what I actually did. Oh, and another thing that I noticed is that speaking of mindset and limiting beliefs, I noticed that my mind would go back to default. So my habits would go back to default. So, like for example, in some of my business goals, I had the mindset, and actually still do struggle with the mindset of not being good enough at a certain thing in order to offer it. So what happened is that as I was trying to tackle whatever goals I set for my business, that old mindset would come in and just kind of like a little whisper in my ear of, well, you can't charge for that. You don't know enough about that. And then my actions, my habits would stay the same because I still had that same mindset. And so I always would revert back to default. And I didn't have any systems in place to fight against what I was believing and to strive forward and keep continuing on with the goal anyway. So that's something else I realized as I started to go through my goals as I was creating them for this year. And in auditing them, I really, again, wanted to make sure that I was not going to do the same thing I did last year. So I use good old Chat GPT for help, and I took each thing. So, for example, my Spanish goal, my goal was too vague. I was initially saying I want to speak Spanish fluently. Well, what does that mean? What is fluent? What is that definition? Clarify that. What does that mean? So, with the help of ChatGPT, my new defined goal was I want to speak Spanish. I want to have a conversation in Spanish for 30 minutes with a native speaker. Okay, that is measurable, that is concrete, that is clear, and I now have something that I can build action steps upon and build habits with. So ChatGPT also gave me that. So the habits that I needed to incorporate into my life to make sure that I wind up hitting this goal of speaking Spanish for 30 minutes conversationally is every single day. There are certain things I need to do every single day. Every single day, I need to spend a certain amount of time reading in Spanish. Every day, I need to spend a certain time listening to Spanish. Every day, I need to be speaking out loud. That's the goal, right? Getting to them here, being able to speak. I need to speak out loud in Spanish every day. And there's a fourth one that I'm forgetting right now, probably writing. I need to actually be writing something in Spanish every single day. And continuing these steps is what will get me to my goal at the end of the year. So I naturally was not doing that. I wasn't, even though I was doing things in Spanish every day, but my consistency wasn't really there. So I really had to make sure that the action steps that were defined for me, I needed to make sure that these became habits. And I use several resources and tools to help me with those. One is accountability. You know, I tell people in my circle what I'm doing so they can ask me, how's it going? You know, what's going on with your Spanish speaking? Are you meeting with your teacher? Are you speaking out loud every day? Like, how's your studying going and all of those things? My teachers hold me accountable. Every time I talk to one of them specifically, he always asks me, you know, how's your Spanish practice? And you have any questions? What are you doing? And it's things like that that help me keep the habits going. So now I will say that now 3 weeks into the year, it is such a habit for me to do Spanish every single day. It is such a habit for me to listen to something in Spanish every single day. It is a habit for me to now even write in Spanish every single day. And so you have to align your habits with the goals that you speak. There are some things, you know, that are just not natural for you to do. So working out, that's a big one for a lot of people, right? So if you know that you have a goal to lose a certain amount of weight by a certain amount of time, and you know that you need to work out to do this, you know that you need to eat a certain way to do this, but you also know that it's difficult for you to do these things. Another way that I have worked at making sure that I am creating habits that align with my goals is to make sure that I am getting rid of things that will enable me to keep making the same excuses and doing the same things that will keep me accomplishing the same things, right? So, like for working out, for the people who, if it's not a habit for you to work out, you can come up with all kinds of excuses for why you shouldn't work out or don't want to work out, or you know, whatever. It's wintertime right now. You know, at the time of this video recording, it is January, right? So for my people who don't like to move or go anywhere when it's cold and it's dark, this is a hard time for you to be motivated to do any kind of working out, any kind of going to the gym. So a way that you can set yourself up better for success, and by removing like some of these things that enable you to make excuses, is like keep your gym clothes by the door. If you're one of those people that know, like when you come in from work, you're not going back out, don't come home. Grab your gym clothes and carry it with you as you go out the door, and go to the gym and work out before you get home, right? That's one way to set your environment up for success, right? Also, for people who struggle with the nutritional thing, and you know that you have a weakness for sweets, or you know, whatever kind of snacks, for me is salty things. You know, don't buy them. Don't buy them. Keep them out of your reach. You know what I mean? Like you want your environment to like set you up for success and helping you create those habits. And you want to stay consistent. You want to stay consistent. That is how action steps become habits, by you doing them consistently. So, accountability, right? Checking reviewing your goals. One of the habits that I've set for myself is I start the day with reviewing my goals that I've set, the whatever action items I have for the day, and then I end my day also with going back over and saying, okay, did I do the things that I said I was going to do, right? That's what helps me stay consistent with doing it, is putting it in a calendar, setting intention, reviewing my goals, um, checking in with people, and letting them know what I'm doing so they hold me accountable to the things that I said I was going to do. Daily reviews, weekly reviews, and I actually, now this is the first time I'm doing it for this year, I actually have a tracker for everything that has like a measurable set to it. So like with my Spanish goals, there's a certain amount of books that I said I was going to read this year. There's a certain number of vocabulary words that I said I was going to learn. And so at the end of every week, I'm able to add to that tracker and look at what I said I was going to do, and then see where I'm at percentage wise. For my fitness goals, I have the same thing. Like, did I work out as many times as I said I was going to work out this week? What is my fat percentage at this certain date and this time? All of these different tools and things, all this stuff has helped me align my habits with my goals. And I know we only 3 weeks into the year, but I have to say that for the first time in my life, I really actually feel like I'm making progress, because I can literally see just in these 3 weeks how things have become habitual for me, and how by marking things in my calendar and just creating like those little habits, and by just doing things a little at a time. Because another thing that I used to do, and this is something that would always just throw me off and why it was so easy for me to not be consistent and just stop doing it, is because I always expected to go from 0 to 100 like instantly. And no, that's not the thing. It's like, do a little bit at a time. And so creating the action steps and really being very honest, and again, working with ChatGPT, or it doesn't even have to be AI, work with another person, but like working through like your feasible amount of time that you can dedicate to something, and what it is that you want to do, and then looking at the action steps, and then working through all of that to tailor it specific to you. That is what has been so key for me. And there are certain habits that I have created just in my life in general that now are so much a part of who I am that they're no longer habits. And that's what you're trying to get to, right? For certain things that you really want to be a part of your lifestyle, you want it to be like your lifestyle, and just have it come naturally. I remember when I decided to make my bed in the morning as part of my morning routine, because you hear that sets you up for success in the day. It was not natural to me to get up and want to make up my bed. I didn't feel like doing it, and there were many days that I missed it. But I started piece by piece, just doing it, and really and reminding myself to do it, and having that listed in my routine, that's actually listed out on my calendar to do. And now it is so just like second nature for me to do it. It's never a thought to me to get up and, I'm not gonna make my bed today. No, now it's a habit. Now it's a habit. Now it's a lifestyle. And so every single day my bed is made. When I was first working out, I remember how hard it was for me to go to the gym. I remember signing up at Gold's Gym, and I didn't use the membership for like a whole entire year, because it was not natural to me to go to the gym. And now I am so used to working out that it doesn't matter where I'm at in my travels or anything that I do. Trust me, I'm gonna find a gym. I'm gonna find a gym. There's never going to be I'm on vacation, I'm taking a vacation from working out. No, I don't know that life. I don't know that life, because it's now part of who I am. That if I go more than 3 days, probably not even 3, if I go more than 2 days without working out, it doesn't even feel right to me. because it is now part of my lifestyle, which was once was something that I needed to create a habit to do because I was trying to hit fitness goals. Now it is a part of my lifestyle. And that's really what you want to do, is you are creating the best version of yourself. You want these things to be a part of your lifestyle. You want these things, whatever it is that for you, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, whatever it is you want to be in your life, you want that to be so natural to you. So in this stage, whatever stage that you are in of getting to this version of yourself, and you create these goals, really take time to clarify the goal, to make sure that you are putting action steps to the goal, creating a space for success, putting it on your calendar, and removing distractions or anything that will give you the excuse to go back to default and not do the thing that you know that you have, that you really want to do, and be consistent about it. And if you apply all those things, keep aligning those habits up with your goals, you will hit that goal. It will be a part of your lifestyle. And when you have reached your beautiful, best version of yourself, this will just be so natural. It'll just flow from you. It'll be wonderful. It'll just be who you are. And that's what we're trying to get to. So, yes, thank you for joining me today to talk about aligning habits with your goals. I hope this was helpful for you. This has been something that's very instrumental for me to, keep making progress toward all the goals that I set for this season of my life. And so, yes, thank you. And I will see you on the next one.